So this is Engineering Statistics and Linear Algebra 18 EC 44. We are in the module 4 linear algebra, and we are now trying to discuss the 4 fundamental subspaces. Rather, we already discussed the 2 of these fundamental subspaces. One is the column space and the null space. We have 2 more, and that we are going to discuss today. In addition to the column space as well as the null space, which also we'll try to discuss briefly, and the terms associated with it. So as far as the column space and the null space are concerned, that will just become a review, and taking a cue from there, we can discuss the other 2 what you call fundamental subspaces, known as the row subspace and left null space. Okay, what are these? We'll see slowly. So before going to the topic of the 4 fundamental subspaces, we'll just see what a subspace is. This again we have already discussed, but however we'll again try to recall what we have done. So subspaces, we know, can be described in 2 different ways. Firstly, by a set of vectors that span a space, right? So that just means that you can have what you call a set of column vectors, and using those column vectors we can define a subspace. So example is, you have the column span using the column space. Okay, so this description may include some of the vectors might be those which correspond to the pivot variables, so that will be the basis vectors as we call them, and some might be the useless vectors, and useless vectors will straight away correspond to those with might be the free variables. Those with the free variables are basically the useless vectors. So we can always say that we have some linearly independent columns and some dependent columns. So out of whatever vectors are there. Okay, so useless vectors will just correspond to dependent columns, because we can represent the dependent columns as a linear combination of the independent columns. Okay, dependent columns are the linear combination of the independent columns. That's why they'll be useless vectors. Those of the columns or those of the vectors correspondingly will be what you call the independent columns which have the pivot variable with them. Okay, and they are the ones which are used to represent the dependent columns. Then we have another way of representing the subspaces, that is by the condition the vectors in the space must satisfy. Okay, we can put a condition which the vectors in the space must satisfy. One is by means of the number of vectors in the span of the space. Another is the what you call condition the vectors in the space must satisfy. Okay, for example, we can have a null space consisting of all vectors that satisfy Ax equal to 0. We might have taken an example of might be something like b3 minus 5b2 plus b1 equal to 0. Might be a condition. It can be any condition, right? So here for the null space we have a condition Ax equal to 0 which all vectors should satisfy, and that will give us the subspace. So this description may include repeated conditions. Okay, repeated conditions just refer to dependent rows, similar to the useless vectors which correspond to the dependent columns. Okay, so this is repeated conditions. Might be condition will be almost similar, or again might be that you have in place of Ax equal to 0, you can multiply both sides with some quantity, might be b, and see that the what you call right hand side will remain as 0, but left hand side might look different. So that will become a separate condition. That will be a repeated condition. Okay, it looks like different, but it's just a repeated condition. because again that corresponds to the linear combination, because we can multiply both sides by a particular value. So when the rank is as large as possible, okay, when we have the rank as large as possible, that will give us that will give us r equal to n, or r equal to m, or r equal to m equal to n. So it might be, rank is equal to the number of columns, rank is equal to the number of rows, or rank is equal to the number of rows as well as number of columns, where you have a square matrix over here. Here in this case might be that you don't have a square matrix. Okay, so the matrix has, in each case, when we say r equal to n, then it will be left inverse B. R, if r equal to m, then we can say that it is right inverse C. R, when r equal to m equal to n, it will have a two-sided what you call A inverse. Okay, two-sided A inverse respectively. Okay, so we are telling here respectively to refer to r equal to n for left inverse of B, r equal to m for right inverse of C, r equal to m equal to n for the two-sided A inverse. Okay, so this already we have seen what a subspace is, how it can be defined in two different ways. One is the vectors, set of vectors that span the space. Another is the condition the vectors must satisfy. Okay, now let us come to the four subspaces and how, what are the different properties associated with the same. So the column space of A is denoted by CA. We denote the column space of a matrix A by means of the symbol CA, and it is spanned by columns of A. Okay, it is spanned by the columns of A, not by these columns of U or R. Please remember that it's not after the reduction, it is before the reduction. Okay, we are not bothered about U and R here, rather we are taking the spanned by the columns of A. Its dimension is the rank R. Okay, dimension of the CA is R. The reason being that how many independent columns are there, how many independent columns are there in A, that will decide the what you call CA. That will decide the CA. The dependent columns will not come there, and the independent columns are going to give us the what you call smallest determinant of that particular matrix A as the R, and the smallest determinant, non-zero determinant rather, smallest non-zero determinant will give us the rank R. We know that the rank of the R will just correspond to smallest non-zero determinant of a matrix whose submatrix we are going to take. We have a matrix A, okay, and if I go on taking the submatrices of A, which is the what you call which is the matrix which has the determinant not equal to 0. Okay, that will give us the rank R. Okay, that will give us the rank R. Okay, so similar to that, we have seen the null space of A is denoted by an A, and because this is the dimension of this is R, the dimension of the null space will be n minus R. The dimension of the null space will be n minus R. Say if we have a 3 by 3 matrix, okay, if we have a equal to 3 by 3 matrix and R is equal to 2, then the what you call dimension of the column space will be 2, and the dimension of null space will be 3 minus 2 equal to 1. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so two independent columns will give us the what you call column space, and the solution for Ax equal to 0 will give us the null space. We know that solution for Ax equal to 0 will give us the null space, and its dimension will be straight away corresponding to n minus R. Then we go, so this we have already seen, these two spaces we have already seen, how we can find the column space, how we can find the null space we have already seen. However, we'll take more examples of the same. Okay, so the row space of A is the column space of A transpose. So what's the difference between row space and column space? Row space of A is the column space of A transpose. So if you want to find the row space of A, then you need to just find the column space of A transpose. So that just means that we have a procedure for finding the column space, right? And you just transpose A, you find the transpose of A and then find its column space, then that will correspond to the row space. And this is denoted by C of A transpose. Row space is column space of A transpose. Please remember this. Row space of A is the column space of A transpose, and it is spanned by the rows of A. Now, the column space is spanned by the columns of A. Row space is spanned by the rows of A because we are taking the transpose of A. Okay. Transpose just means columns become the row and row become the columns. Okay, so if we say the transpose, then it just means columns become the rows and rows becomes the columns, right? And its dimension is again R. So if whether we, even if we transpose, the dimension is not going to change. Even if we transpose, the dimension is not going to change, it will remain R only. Okay, that just means this, okay, the what you call smallest, the submatrix, rather the largest submatrix which has a determinant, not zero, not equal to zero. The largest submatrix of the matrix A which has the determinant not equal to zero, right? That is the dimension. That is the rank. Okay, rank or dimension. Okay, so next we come to the left null space of A. Left null space of A, similar to, we have taken here row space of A is the column space of A transpose. Left null space of A is the null space of A transpose. Okay, you take the, matrix A, then you take its transpose, you'll get AT. Okay, AT, and you take the null space of that, AT, then that will just correspond to the left null space. So if you know how to find the column space, it is sufficient because column space and null space, it is sufficient because using the method of column space and null space, we can find the column space of A, the null space of A, the row space of A, as well as the left null space of A, because the row space of A is just the column space of A transpose, and the left null space of A is the null space of A transpose. Okay, so whether, again, if you have A or A transpose, the dimension is not going to change. So it contains all the vectors Y such that A transpose Y is equal to 0 and is denoted by the what you call symbol N of A T, A transpose. Its dimension is, even if you transpose, dimension is not going to change. So its dimension is M minus R, because rows become column, column becomes row here. So therefore it will become M minus R. Okay. Earlier it was N minus R because we had N rows, N columns and R rows. For the transpose, columns become the rows and rows become the columns. So now at the column place, we have the number of rows, and that is M. That is M. So M minus R will give us the dimension of the left null space. So the null space A and the row space C of AT are subspaces of R to the power N. Okay, NA as well as C of AT. That is null space and the row space will have our subspace of R to the power N. Okay, R to the power N here is the number of columns. The left null space N of A transpose and the column space CA are the subspaces of R to the power M. R to the power M. Okay, so where M is the number of rows, where M is the number of rows. So that just means that, if you have a, say, 4×3 matrix, if you have 4×3 matrix, N equal to 4 and N equal to 3. Okay, n equal to 4 and n equal to 3. Then correspondingly, we need to consider that the null space and the row space, the null space and the row space are subspaces of R to the power 4, and left null space and column space are the subspaces of R to the power 3. And it will be straight away when we talk about the, we know that, when we try to find the null space for a 4 by 3 matrix, then you'll have 4 unknowns. Okay, x1, x2, x3, x4 for null space, and hence you'll get the order 4 different values, x1, x2, x3, x4, and hence that will just straight away correspond to R to the power 4. Okay, similarly, when we try to find the column space of A, we know very well that column space of A will be just, you take all the columns of A, and then you can write a what you call linear combination of the independent vectors. Okay, to get the column space of A, or rather the columns which are independent will give us the column space. Column space of A which are independent will give us the column space, and hence correspondingly the columns what you call the number of rows in each of the column will give us the order of the column space, right? Now, let us take examples of the 4 subspaces. So we'll first take the simplest of the matrix here, a very simple matrix, A equal to U equal to R. You cannot further reduce it at all. It's already in the reduced form, 1 0 0 0 0 0. Okay, 1 0 0 0 0 0. What is the order? What is the dimension of this matrix? Can somebody tell me what is the rank or dimension of this matrix? Can you write it in the chat? You take any submatrix of this, right? A submatrix whose determinant you need to find. And what is the, what you call, if I take say 2 by 2, this 2 by 2 or this 2 by 2 or this one and this one together, what will be the determinant? What will be the determinant of this 2 by 2 matrix, or say this 2 by 2 matrix, or this and this 2 by 2 matrix? Can we find the determinant of them? Can somebody write in the chat? Can somebody write in the chat? Yes. Rank of the matrix. People don't know rank of the matrix. Are you with me? Recording again, right? So the rank of this matrix is equal to 1. So dimension corresponding to the column space will also be 1. Okay. Now, what does this mean? This mean, which column is having a pivot variable? Can somebody tell how many columns are there which has a pivot variable? How many columns here has a what you call free variables? How many columns here correspond to the pivot variable, and how many columns correspond to the free variable? Can somebody tell? We need to take here, the principal diagonal, right? You take the principal diagonal here, right? So this is 1. So therefore, this will be the pivot variable correspondingly and pivot column. Now, this is definitely a free what you call column, because this value is 0. Further, we should come to this over here. If this was a 1, this also would have been pivot column. But because I have a 0 over here, this will also be a free column. So that just means those which are having the pivot variable will correspond to independent column. Independent, and these two will correspond to the dependent. What does that mean? These two columns can be represented as a linear combination of this. these two columns can be represented as a linear combination of this. What do you mean by linear combination? You multiply something with each one of this element, you'll get this. That means you multiply 0 to each one of this, you will get this or this. So this is the independent column and this is the dependent column. And the column space is the line through the independent columns. Okay, the column space is the line through the independent columns 1, 0. Okay, so we write here only independent column. Say if this was 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, we should have written another one also over here, 0, 1. Okay, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, we should have written 0, 1 also. And then at that time, the column space will just correspond to 1, 0 and 0, 1. And that might be a plane. Okay, that might be a plane, right? That might be a plane because we have two different vectors. Here we have a single vector. That's why we just correspond it to a line. Okay. Then we come to the row space. Row space is, the what you call, we just need to take the transpose of this. We need to take the transpose of this and find out which is the what you call independent column and which is the dependent column. Naturally, not if you take the transpose of this, I'll get 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I'll get 1, 0, 0 and 0, 0, 0. Okay, so in the column 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, I'll just try to might be what you call write the annotation corresponding to that. Okay, so I'll get here 1, then a 0. Okay, then another 0. Yeah. Okay, here 3 zeros. Right? We'll get it like this. This is the transpose of this matrix, right? So now this is the one which will be independent because this has a pivot here. This does not have a pivot here because all these are zeros. So this becomes a free, what you call variables. Okay, free column, right? So free column we'll have here, and we'll have a pivot variable and correspondingly a independent, linearly independent column. This will be a linearly dependent column because if I multiply these three elements by 0, I'll get all this 0. Okay, so therefore this value 1, 0, 0 will correspond to the row space, and that is nothing but 1, 0, 0 transpose. This 1, 0, 0 is nothing but 1, 0, 0 transpose. So how do you find the row space? Take the transpose of A and find its column space. You'll get the row space. That's why, that's how we have defined. That's how we have defined the if you just see how we have defined the row space of A as the column space of A transpose, and that is why you just take the transpose and find the column space, which will be 1, 0, 0 transpose, because 1, 0, 0 corresponds to a linearly independent, column. 0, 0, 0 is the dependent column because if I multiply 0, 0, 0 with this, I'll get this. Okay, or because this is having a pivot variable, this will be a linearly independent column, and that will give us the column space of this A transpose. And this is a free, so to say, or useless, so to say, column. This is a useless column as we are calling it, and because it has the free variable, and hence, we will have, we will not be having it in the row space. Okay, that's why it's a dependent one. Then the null space is the plane in R cube. Okay, because we have it, three, so to say, columns. Therefore, it will be R cube, and the left null space is in R square. How do you find the null space? Null space you can find by finding solving AX equal to 0. If you write AX equal to 0 and try to solve that, you will get the null space. Okay, use this A and then multiply it by AX. So if you want to multiply this by X, this is a, what you call, so to say, 2 by 3 vector, 2 by 3 matrix, and then we should have a 3 by 1 matrix. Okay, x1, x2, x3. AX means X will be x1, x2, x3, right, is equal to 0. We should write A into X equal to 0, right? If you write AX equal to 0, then solve it, then we will get the, null space with two of these values. Okay, if you write that, then you'll get x1 is equal to 0. Then x2, x3, you don't know what to do with it. Okay, you don't know x2, x3 what to do with it, and you have to put one of them as 1, and naturally you'll get the other one as 0. Similarly, the one, you make the other one, and then you'll get the first one as 0. Okay, so thus you can find the so to say null space by solving AX equal to 0. This we have already seen. Further, we'll take some more examples. Right, left null space is just the null space of A transpose. You take the transpose of this, that is this, and now try to find the null space of this. Then that will give us the left null space. Okay, null space of A transpose. This is A transpose, and null space of A transpose will give us the value, what you call the left null space. Right, and to find this solution, we just need to write ATY. We generally call it now as ATY equal to 0. A transpose of multiplied by Y equal to 0. So for that, you can see that this is a 3 by 2 matrix. This is a 3 by 2 matrix. So this has to be multiplied by 2 by might be whatever 1 matrix, 2 by 1 matrix, right? 3 by 2 can be multiplied by 2 by 1 matrix, because the number of columns in the first matrix should be same as the number of rows in the second matrix for multiplication purpose. For multiplication purpose, the number of columns in the first matrix should be same as the number of columns in the second matrix. So we'll have here y1, y2. So we'll have, similarly to what we said over here, we'll have x1, x2, x3 in X. For Y, we will have y1, y2. So y1, y2, use that A transpose Y equal to 0, and find y1, y2, you'll get the value 0. Okay, you'll get the value 0. And remember that all the 4 vectors are column vectors. Most important thing is all the 4 vectors are the column vectors. Okay, all the 4 vectors are the column vectors. Whatever 4 vectors we have used are the column vectors which we have over here. Right. So that gives us an example of that. Now, discussing it in more detail over here, okay, might be in a little different order compared to what we might have done earlier, right? So rather, we try to discuss, we know what a null space is and what a column space is. This, how to find that, we already seen. We are telling that, row space of A is nothing but the column space of A transpose, right? And equally well, the left null space of A is nothing but the null space of A transpose. Okay, I should write here equal to the column space of A transpose. Okay, so when we talk about row space of A, for every U or R, the non-zero rows are a basis, and the row